tell you, wherever you go, Java will be there. If you're using internet, Google Chrome, IE, Firefox, actually that is working through JavaScript, and that requires Java. So if you remove Java, you cannot use internet. You are using Java almost every day. I could not find a single person who cannot use Java. The only thing you have not done coding, where I come in picture. My goal here is that you will learn Java in and out, but I need a couple of promises. See, human number one, if you want to learn something step by step, this class is very interesting, very useful. So the class is designed like this way. I'm sharing on the screen, so at least you can see the concept. So overall class has many compartments. If I were sitting here, I learn this class, then I get super duper confident. Again, practice is yours. You need to make a decent practice, because if you don't make practice, you will not learn. But Java, the main Java concept start with around 3 weeks. You will learn basic programming, which is called syntax. So syntax means programming rules. Syntax means programming rules. So in Java, anytime when you learn Java, you need to learn syntax, and that syntax is the programming rules. Makes sense? It takes around 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, you will be in and out. You will learn syntax. After 3 weeks, you will start learning about advanced topic. Java has some advanced. We are going to cover OOP. OOP stands for Object-Oriented Programming. Object-Oriented Programming. Object means object, like human object, like example, car, doctor, office, book, student. Those are objects. So we're going to learn object-oriented programming. This is very popular. So to be honest with you, when you go in interview, you will expect a lot of questions. I want to make sure you understand here in classroom. So when I was interviewed, whatever the question they were asking 30 years back, same question they asked to my son also. Same questions. And my son also was able to answer, because I teach Java at grade 6, 7, 8, 9. So those students who are coming here, I teach the same concept. Whatever you're going to learn, I teach the same level at middle school and high school. So my kids, when they were taking Java here, they knew all those concepts. So they got job. And the jobs are very high pay jobs. Because anytime you go programming, either you go to web developers, or you go to QA, or you go for any other kind of programmer, mobile developers, you need to have object-oriented programming knowledge. So you can become a programmer if you want to, Java programmer, or you can become a QA automation engineer, or you can become a web developer. You can go and get job as a Java programmer, or you can go as a web developers, mobile developers, or QA, because the concept remains same. And that's your platform for approximately 4 to 5 weeks. So we will spend 4 to 5 weeks here. So far, any questions? 4 to 5 weeks. Any questions so far? And when you complete this, you have to do project. So you will have first project in Java. That project, I encourage people to do project as not like a, I will do it. I always tell people, action has a reaction, right? If you do half action, you will have a half reaction. And then you may not get a job or dream, right? Realization. The most important thing is think about what action will get you the desired result. Example, if I push it and if nothing happened and I really want to take to the next level, I need to push hard. So if you do Java hard, then rest of the things will be easy, because after Java, the next process will start, which is lots of things we're going to cover, which is called Selenium automation. Selenium Web Automation. Now, Selenium Web Automation itself is a very golden topic in our side. Our topic are a lot more. We cover like around 20 plus technology in this Selenium Web Automations. So name few. We'll start Maven, we'll say Git, we'll say Jenkins, we'll say Test Unit, Test NG, we'll say JUnit, we'll talk about Catalan, we talk about WebDriver, so Web API, we'll talk about Selenium Grid, and we'll talk about BDD, page objects, a lot of things we cover. So when we are covering all those things here, there is no reason people will not call you, because these are like a secret sauce for a job. So if you are going for QA, this has to be your forte, because it's kind of star. Java is your platform. Even you don't know Java enough, and if you know Selenium, you can still get a job. But in that case, you are going for QA only, because as a QA, you don't need to be expert in Java. As a QA, you don't need to be expert in Java. But if you are an expert in a Java, it will open many doors, because then you can go as a Java web developer, you can go to mobile developer, you can go as a QA, you can do a lot of activity, and you are going as an advanced level. Advanced level, you make a lot more money. Advanced level, you definitely make money. So think about between this and this is just 4 to 5 weeks of hard work will take you to the advanced. I teach these courses almost, I would say, 15, 16 years. Java, I'm teaching for many years. Now, when I'm teaching Java and all, I notice one thing, Java, anybody can learn, because I taught in colleges and I taught 4 to 6 weeks, they get it. If you just know Java, then you can go as a programmer. Your salary will be around 80 to 90K, just knowing Java. But if you combine these two ecosystem, your salary will be around 100 plus thousand. So that's why the difference between this is you want to go as a job, you may still get a job as a Java programmer. You may hit around 80s. But if you do QA web automation, you will go around 100 plus. I always like to push a little bit extra, because if you know Java, now tomorrow companies say, I want to do this, I want to do that. You don't have to retrain yourself, because it's a foundation. You can learn Python, you can learn R, you can learn any programming. Tomorrow companies say, do you know C Sharp? Java and C Sharp is very similar. So you can easily switch from Java to C Sharp. Now C Sharp is nothing but Windows.NET product. So Windows users are using C Sharp and non-Windows users are using Java, because Java used to be known as a platform independent. Speak with me. Platform independent means it works on IBM machines, it works on Linux machines, it works on Solaris machines, and it works on Windows. It works in all operating systems. It works in iOS, Android, everywhere. So Java was originated as a platform independent. And because it's a platform independent, everyone started using Java. Funny part, Microsoft was specifically for Windows. Last 6 years, Microsoft made C Sharp is platform independent. So Microsoft made C Sharp, which is called .NET Core. Speak with me. Again, .NET Core. .NET Core is very similar as Java. It's very similar. So C Sharp is very similar as Java. Syntax, I would say 90% same. So can I say I know C Sharp? Answer, yeah. The only thing you are using different IDE. You can use Eclipse or you can use NetBeans, but people are using Visual Studio. So Visual Studio, mostly people use when they use .NET Core or C Sharp. And we use Eclipse or NetBeans when we use Java. Make sense? So when you know Java, many doors will open. Any questions so far? So far, so good? Okay. Now, before we jump into this Java world, I just want to make sure we are doing hands-on coding. Okay, today is the first class. I want to make sure foundations, understanding is clear. So our classes are hands-on, and I'm sure many of you know. So the way normally I do is first 2-3 weeks, I'll cover theory and lab, theory and lab, theory and lab, like that. First, at least for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, I have a forum. I'll show you. So I have a forum where everything, whatever I'm going to teach, everything will be available. So you can do the exercise, you can do homework, lab, everything through forum. So in forum, you will have some topics, because if you go through the forum, because if I teach only theory, then it won't help. And if I teach only lab, it's not help. So I can continuously build my forum. This forum is pretty good. It will give you a lot of options. Those who are interested in Java certification, which you can go for it. So after 4 to 6 weeks of practice, you may need to give 1 week of practice and you can complete Java certifications. Java certification perspective, our content covers around 80 to 85%. There is a 10-15% you still have to prepare for the certification. But 85% passing score required is 70-ish. But if you practice a little bit, you can complete the Java certification. There are a couple of companies give you Java certifications. I would go for Microsoft Java Foundations. That is easy, because my training covers 100%. But if you are going for Oracle Java certifications, you need to cover 15% extra, which is require a special practice, because that's more about exam-oriented content, not a Java programming. So sometimes they ask very peculiar questions because of certifications. Those exams are a little harder, and the cost is $300, $350. So I would not recommend directly going there, because when you say I'm Java certified, you're Java certified. Do you guys agree or not? So example, if I say I'm a bachelor's of computer science, I'm a bachelor's of computer science. No one will ask which college or which university did you complete. Do you agree or not? So I would go with the certification through cheaper and easier. Make sense or not? Oracle, I did myself Oracle certification. It's really, really hard. You need 6 months of practice. You cannot complete in just 1 or 2 days. But if you really work hard, students complete also. It's not like students do not complete. But I would strongly complete Microsoft Java certification. You will be able to complete quickly. Exam has a much more Java concept than any specific concept. So those who are doing hands-on, you easily complete the certification. Make sense? Those who are going YOA program, especially YOA program, everyone knows YOA program. In case if you do not know YOA program is person who is not working, but they want some kind of grant. It's a free grant. Government provides for green card and citizen holder, especially if you are not working, right? You can be qualified. Talk to Harish, right? Even you are working, let's say 5 hours, 6 hours somewhere, or 10 hours, and you're making maybe $12, $14. You maybe apply. You can be qualified. In that grant, there is a benefit. All certification cost government will pay. So you can get all certification. Make sense? You can get certification from Java, you can get certification for Oracle, and you can get certified for QA, ISTQB also. So again, in case if you need help, talk to Harish also. Am I clear so far? Right? Okay. Now moving to the next item. For Java, we need 2 software immediately. And that's why I emailed yesterday. Yes or no? Then yesterday, also another email I sent. Yes or no? So I emailed 2 times that we need a JDK, either 17 or 18, whichever works for you. You need that. And then you need a NetBean. So NetBean is the IDE we will use for it's a 15 or 13 or whatever, that's fine. So this software we need. This language, this gives you language, and this gives you environment. So Java environment is very important, because in order for us to write a program, we need a language environment. And I'll talk about it. In case if you have not downloaded tonight or today, no problem. I have a way you can do without installation for just tonight. But when you come next week, you do need a Java. Now, many of you are using Mac or many of you are using Windows, right? If my humble request is whatever you're using, you should be comfortable. And I'm not against like Mac, neither I'm against Windows. Whatever you're using, comfortable. So if you are using Mac, you can still download JDK. And if you're using NetBean, you can still download, because Mac is Apple, and Apple used to use Java products. So they do support, and every software is available. Now, Mac has different type of version. You need to download. Good news, it will work, and it will work. Industry people are using Mac for many years, and they work. Now, I'm not a Mac guy, so I do not know all, but I know all my students who are using Mac, they are comfortably working on a Java, JDK 17 and NetBean. In case if you run an issue, we can do during break or after the class. So don't panic in case if you are using Mac. But those who are using computer and you're thinking to buy a computer, you have Windows, if someone wants to buy a new computer, I have 2 recommendations. One, buy Dell, and buy at least i5 or i7 with 8 GB RAM. Why? Because you are going to get speed. Do not buy HP, Acer and all. I know those look good, but it won't perform good. So Dell is the standard operating system they are using. You will not have any problem. I'm telling you with experience, though I do not have any Dell stock, disclaimer. So I'm not promoting Dell, but I am very happy with Dell. All my office computers are Dell, and I do not have any problem. This computer I bought 8 years back from Amazon, used laptop, 8 years back. Just pay $250. It still works like a charm. Makes sense or not? I buy used ones. So in case if you don't have enough money, don't worry about, go to Amazon, buy used Dell i5 with SSD, 8 GB RAM. It works like a charm. And this $250, right? If you go to this computer, if I buy from like Best Buy, it will cost me $1,200. Make sense? So having an additional computer, this will help, because there are software we will install. Not all software works identical. Not all software works in a Mac. So there will be a little bit challenge you may have. Again, you have to navigate that because you have that computer, you have to navigate, just like your car has different type of features. Mac has various features also. Okay, so we will need software JDK 17 and all. Normally what I do is I communicate those informations to students to Google Class. So if you are taking this class, ideally you should have Google Class access. So this is the Google Class. Let me just explain step by step. So everyone who are taking this class should have Google Class access, those who are enrolled. Without enrollment, we don't give Google Class access because this is our student have access. And in that you click on classwork. You click on classwork. So when you click on classwork, there are different classes, contents are there. You're most likely going to see this week 1. I'm very good in doing this thing because I've been teaching for a while. So first I created WhatsApp group. I would strongly suggest you join WhatsApp group. This will help you, especially when you're stuck. Remember one thing, when you're stuck when writing programming, you will have a panic attack. You may say, it's not working, right? That's going to happen. Trust me, when I do, I will have panic attack also. But always remember, guide by side. So these apps group, we have around 70 to 100 people in the group. You take a picture of your screen and email, hey guys, I'm having error. Any suggestions? Our students will provide suggestions. If not, at least I will provide suggestions. So this way you will have continuous guide by side. Trust me, if you email me, it won't help me because I have 870 plus students. If you email me questions, it is not scalable. Do you guys agree or not? Because if one person send email, it will be 800 emails and I may not be able to answer. If you are stuck something and it is peculiar, no one answering the WhatsApp, I will guarantee I will answer it. Make sense or not? So WhatsApp group, I would strongly suggest for class related communications, a problem, project related thing, do that. Second thing, before the class, I normally send agenda. Nowadays I'm using colorful. You might have seen that because I'm improving. So here, all the class, what I'm going to cover, all the details I send. I also send you some reading materials about, watching videos and all, but you can see these are the content we sent last week. So our agenda is installation software, Java overview, and other details we're going to cover about. We're going to do lab in few minutes. Okay. Now, if you go further, I always say software to download. So this is the software you download, but this software is for Windows. So in case if you have what you call Mac, I'll show you how to download. It's not that complex. These two software will make our life easy for next around, I would say 12 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks, I can give you guarantee. Because 6 weeks, if you mathematic model, if you do 6 weeks of NetBeans, then around 6 weeks of Selenium. So total, it will take around 12 weeks. In that, you will have 2 projects, Java project and Selenium project. If you do Selenium project very well, you can easily represent yourself in interview. Almost all our students who got a job, they all have done a great job in Selenium. Without Selenium, it's a little difficult because Selenium is I would say, a trump card for automation. If you remove Selenium, then you're a QA manual. Even you know Java, you're not automation engineer. With Selenium, you become an automation engineer. So we have to use Selenium, and that will be a next 6 months in Java. So these two together will make you automation engineer. Make sense? Any questions so far? Okay. Now, this class, which normally people can attend also remotely. So you can attend this class remotely. You can see many of our team members right now attending class remotely. So in case if you have a problem or family issues or something because yesterday you had a rough night and you want to attend class remotely, you can. We will normally provide that this link will remain same for next 12 weeks. So you are not going to ask me, hey, what's the link? Same link, and it's in Google Class. It's in agenda. Anybody can access that. Make sense? Any questions there? Okay. So now if I want to install the software, how I do that? So if I go to Google, I just need to say download, right? Please don't download right now because it will create a challenge on our network because these softwares are hundreds of megabytes, right? We don't want to download right now. Please don't try to download right now. I will give you another way to do tonight's lab. But when you go home, you download. So we download Java. So when you download Java, normally download latest version, right? So when you download Java latest version, don't worry if you do not have software. I have an alternate way to do the labs. Okay, you will be able to do labs. Don't panic it, right? Let me repeat. Don't panic it. I have alternate way to do the labs. Are we understanding or not? If you have not downloaded it. But download Java, and once you have it, please understand Java has many flavor. Our flavor is JDK. We are going to use JDK. Please understand. We are going to use JDK. JDK stands for Java Development Kit. Java Development Kit. Development Kit means you can do development. Many people accidentally download GRE. GRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. Java Runtime Environment. So when you do Java Runtime Environment, this is for browser. This is required for browser. So your browser is using, most likely your computer will have GRE. There is no point to download. You need to download JDK so you can do coding. So if you want to do coding, you need a JDK. After you download and install, then you go for next, which is, then you go for next. And next will be download NetBeans 17. So you will download NetBeans 17. Now NetBeans 17 is the IDE. It is a IDE. It requires Java. So if you have not downloaded Java, it will not work. So IDE does require Java, and there is a version required, which we are downloading Java 17. So when we download Java 17, right, IDE is going to work. Now you say, what is this IDE stands for? So IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. In interview, people will ask multiple questions. The question is, how many IDEs you know? If you just know one IDE, it will not be enough. You need to know multiple IDEs. Now, how do you know multiple IDEs? So first I would start with NetBeans. You start with NetBeans, which we are using. As you go further, you and your team member, when you do the project, you should start with Eclipse. So NetBeans is the first one you use, right? I would make sure you try a couple of IDE, then Eclipse, right? Eclipse is one of the free one, and most companies use Eclipse also. Many companies using IntelliJ. IntelliJ is also paid version, and there is a community version is free. So IntelliJ is also available. Now some people use STS, like in a Spring Tool Suite. There are many more available. But if you know one IDE, you can easily work with other IDEs. Just like you know one car, you can drive other car. It's very similar. But you should have in your resume with multiple IDEs. If your resume says only one IDE, no one will pick your resume. Now, if somebody say which car you're driving, maybe you will be specific, but can you drive car? You can be generic. Yes or no? Same thing. You can use any IDE. So far, so good. Why am I using NetBeans? Because NetBeans is an official Java software. Official. Eclipse has a little bit version problem. They have different versions, and each version they have different flavor, and it will create a nightmare for us. Java NetBeans gives you goodies, which is good for beginner. Initially, you're a beginner, so you need to have software which works. After you become like comfortable, you can use Mercedes or Lamborghinis. Yes or no? I always tell people, when you are taking driving license, drive the oldest car. Do you know why? Because if accident happen, then you are not going to be having a problem. Yes or no? And this NetBeans avoid the accident. NetBeans avoid the accident because it's so easy. Anybody can use NetBeans. It's so easy. But Eclipse and all, it requires a little bit maturity. After 3 to 4 weeks, you will be able to do Eclipse. If you want to use in class, I can happy to show you. It's not complex at all. But we start with NetBeans. Now NetBeans has a lot of goodies which Eclipse doesn't have. So you become a productive also. Now I'll show you some tips and techniques. I like NetBeans. So when I work in a real field, I use both software. I install NetBeans and Eclipse. Eclipse has some goodies, very limited goodies, which is not available in NetBeans, maybe 1 or 2%, but NetBeans has around 10 to 15% goodies, which is not available in Eclipse. Many projects I have worked, I'll just give you a clue. Like if you develop certain thing in NetBeans, it will take maybe 2 minutes. If you do the same thing in Eclipse, it will take 2-3 days or weeks. See the problem here? Many people don't know that because they never use NetBeans. Until you use, you will not know the goodies. Yes or no? I've been using NetBeans for maybe 16, 17 years. So I know the difference between that. There are some things STS has, and there are something IntelliJ also have, but this software is paid. Community version is free. IntelliJ is the best software. So when you go in industry, it is possible your company will give you IntelliJ, but there is a license cost. You have to pay per month cost. But that has a lot of goodies. Again, if you compare NetBeans and IntelliJ, we are talking about 5 to 7% difference, and I don't want to pay for that, right? So again, if company gives you, great. So some people use IntelliJ community version, but community version doesn't have those goodies. So NetBeans is good enough. Make sense? Any questions so far? Good.
We know NetBeans and company that we work with, they have Eclipse and IntelliJ and J. Can we put ourselves into that easily?
You can. You can not only that, but you can also install NetBeans too. It's not like company will say you cannot use NetBeans. You can use NetBeans. No one will stop you. It's your choice. It's just like, if you buy a house, what color you want. It's your choice. When they give you laptop, they are not going to say this is the only software you do. Majority company will have a self-installation. Means you go and install necessary software. Because these are not like a bad software. These are industry standard software and everyone use it. The reason I'm saying is because we are beginner. And when you're a beginner, you got to use a good software. Good?
I have a question. I installed NetBeans from class for that.
That's fine. That's fine. Even I have version 8, it will work because NetBeans is a compatible. So even you are 8, 9, 10 NetBeans, it's fine. We're gonna do lab after break for NetBeans, but before break we'll do Java lab, and that we'll do through internet. Through internet, I do have internet pub, and this is the username and password. You don't need right away, but here, please don't download the software. I'm keep repeating because it's gonna break the whole network down. Because we are talking about almost 1 or 2 GB software, and we have 100 plus people are using network. It will be quite slow, right? When you install at your house, it will take less than 5 minutes. Make sense or no? Because it's so fast at your house. Because here, because you have so many people. And that's why I keep reminding you, again, you don't have software, it's not end of the world. There is a web-based exercise we can do it. Make sense? Okay. Now, a couple of theory concepts. So let me go back to the theory. Now, anytime somebody say programming. So first of all, what is program? So 2 things, data and instruction. Data and now instructions are random or logical order. Logical order. Do you guys agree or not? So I'm standing here, and if I want to go to this door, right, I need to provide myself a proper instruction, right? Go straight 20 steps. Do you guys agree or not? And then take a turn for 90-degree turn and go like maybe 6 steps. Then open the door and come out. Yes or no? I need to give us steps in a logical order. If you don't do logical order, the program won't work. Do you guys agree or not? So first is a logical order. Our brain is a very interesting organ. It is by default in a logical order. But most people don't use that brain because there are 2 types of brain, right? One is active brain and one is called silent brain. Silent brain is the maximum of our brain, which is called 90% brain. Sometimes people call passive brain, right? And the active brain is lazy brain. The most lazy brain is active, which is around 10% of your brain, which try not to do the right thing. So example, I give you guarantee, not everyone in this class is doing everyday exercise. Do you guys agree or not? Who is doing everyday exercise?
What exercise?
So our lazy brain will give a first command, just 8 o'clock, be in the bed, well, 9 o'clock, right? If you have to overcome your lazy brain, because if you overcome lazy brain, then you will do magic. Because active brain is very smart. Even though it's a 10%, it is a very smart brain. Einstein said that he hardly used 4%. Einstein for active brain. So think about even we use 1%, we'll be closer to Einstein. Do you agree or not? We don't use it. Example, class start at 9 o'clock, but majority 9:30. So majority time we just get 9:30 time. But if we come a little bit early, 5 minutes, smooth, yes or no? But our lazy brain say, still time, right? Like example, homework, tomorrow. That's our lazy brain does. Programmers need to control that lazy brain. And that's not my problem, that's your problem. Because last 20 years or 30 years, how old you are, that lazy brain has dominated you or you dominated your lazy brain. You guys agree or not? Say yes or no. There is a small taste is there. You may not like or like, whatever, let's try it. When I say 1, 2, 3, do like this. Come on, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Now hold it. Now hold it for a second. And see which thumb on the top. Right or left? Left. So I have, mine is left.
Right.
Left, right. So those who have left on top, you have control already your active brain. That's called logical. And those who are right, they have emotional, which is the bigger brain is controlling. So relax. This technique is natural because those who are using left thumb on top, again, it's not me, it is studied by hundreds of scientists. They're saying that those people naturally put thumb on the left side, they're logical. It means they have thinking ability as a gift. We call NBA. What is NBA stands for? Natural born ability. Natural born ability. You have gift. You might not using it, but it's there because God has given that. It's a natural gift you have. But those who have right thumb on top, it's not bad. It's not bad. It means you are using more emotional brain. You are more emotional than logical. Means you feel more. You feel. You kind of human, more human. That's okay. Nothing wrong in that. Require a little bit try. That require a little bit effort. That require a little bit effort. You guys agree or not? So those who are having a right thumb on the top require a little effort. Example. Many students jump on the swimming pool. Yes or no? Some are naturally swimmer, and some try a lot, and then after a lot of effort they learn. Everyone can learn, but some are naturally, and some require effort. So those who are right require effort because last 20, 30 years, whatever you have not maybe added effort. If you add effort, you will do good, and later on they both will be same. So far so good. Another example: when you are driving car on a freeway, you are having multi lanes, and you just to see blind spot and change the lane. And if you are doing quickly in the sense of split of second, then you are logical. If you take a long time, then you're emotional. Right? Now, this is not me saying, these are proven. Now, why it is like that? So this is called decision-making ability. Speak with me. Those people who drive car left and right immediately take action, they're making decision. But if an accident happen, more accident happen, it means you're making wrong decisions. But if not happening and you're able to quick the lane change, then your decision-making ability is quicker. Another example, if I say, guys, we'll be meeting in a picnic spot at 5 o'clock. What time? 5 o'clock. What time are you coming? If you say I'll be there at 4:45, or if you say I will be at 4:30, or you say I'll be at 5 o'clock, you're logical. But people say I'll try my best, be out there as soon as possible. You're emotional because you're not able to make a decision what time you will be. Make sense? And why am I saying that? Programming is person to person vary. So in case some of you naturally get, or your neighbor get naturally, it's not they're smart. It's a gift is there. They have boost already there. They call X factor. In case if you play video game, right? Jackpot. You have jackpot. We call X factor. You just press the button and you are fast. I was not logical. Let me repeat. I was emotional. I realized that my ability was hard. Means I was learning very hard way. But my jackpot started when I was in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. But programming ability started after 3 years because I didn't have a computer. So most time when I do programming, I was seeing the program and try to read program and memorize it. So program, when you read, you understand. So understand is one thing and memorization is another thing. So example, something you write it down because you memorize it, and something you extend it, then what you read about it, then that's called understanding. So initial level, you will memorize the program, and which is fine because that is called syntax. Speak with me. Syntax, you have to memorize it because when you study English, right? I after M, I still don't understand why. But he is, she is, they are, we are. Do you agree or not? I still don't understand why. But we memorize it. Do you agree or not? I still don't understand the meaning of that, but I memorize it. Why? Because that's the way grammar works. Same thing, programming works certain way. And that is called syntax. What do we call? Syntax. So Java programming has its own syntax. This syntax, if you don't follow, you will have error. You will have an error. So whenever you have error, 90% chances you did not follow the syntax. So if you don't follow the syntax, your program will not work. Speak with me. Your program will not work. That gives you a clue that your syntax error. Easier to find, easier to fix it. Make sense? Very easy to find, very easy to fix. First 3 weeks, you're learning syntax. First 3 weeks, because syntax will give you clue how program is written. Make sense or not? I give you guarantee, written guarantee, you will learn syntax. You are taking my class. There is no way I will let you go in a 4th week without understanding syntax. And if I don't do that, I didn't do my job well. So syntax, I'll take it. So far, so good. So first error, you will have a syntax error where you write a program, but it's not working because you did not follow grammar. But when you fix that syntax error, program works. Make sense or no? But when program works, then the second error starts. Your program does not produce result correctly. So result is not right. Your result doesn't come right. So if your result doesn't come right, what could be the reason? Logic. So that's called logic error. Logic error varies person to person and it takes a little time. Syntax error is very easy to find, and your program does not work. Logical error, your program works. Your program works, but does not produce the right result. Example, if I said 2 plus 2, and if I get 22, program works? Yes or no? Did it works right? No. Program works. I get a 22, but program did not work correctly. Yes or no? So these type of error, program works, but result is incorrect. That's called logical error. Speak with me. This will be interview question. Okay. Anything I teach is not just a story. The way I teach it is easy to remember. Make sense? I'm not the guy who's going to teach you 20, 30 slides. That's not the guy. And I will teach such a way that everything will go in your mind and remain in long term. That's my style. But make sure you don't ignore any word. Syntax error, program works or not? Program does not work. Syntax error, program does not work. Make sure you understand that. If you answer that question incorrect, I can give you guarantee you come back. Impossible to go wrong in that answer. Make sense or not? If I ask you which state you live and you say, I don't know. Do you see how reaction happen? Same thing. If you say, I have 5 years experience and you don't know, man, you should never even try for that type of programming thing. So syntax error, program does not work because you grammatically incorrect. Logical error, program works, but result is not correct. Make sense or not? Program works, but result is not correct. That's called logical error.
Logical.
Are we clear? So far, so good. Any question?
No.
Okay. The third error is runtime error. Runtime error. Runtime. Runtime error means when you are driving car. When you're driving car, everything is working. Yes or no? You're driving. So car is working. Yes or no? When you're driving car, everything is working. But once in a while, you have flat tire. Flat tire. Is that good thing or bad thing? Bad thing. So that's called error. But it happened while I was driving. Do you agree or not? So that's called runtime error. So program works, but once in a while, it just stopped. Or it has some error once in a while. You don't know when it's going to happen. When you're driving car, you don't know the flat tire happens, right? But it happens randomly. Yes or no? Program works, so there is no error. Logic also works because you get success result. But once in a while, you get a error, random error. And that is called runtime error. Speak with me. Runtime error. So how many errors you have? 3. Syntax error, logical error, and runtime error. Do you think it's hard? Now, runtime error means memory out of memory. Your program continuously run and eat up all memory. It is possible internet is out. So once in a while, internet goes down and your program doesn't work. It is possible hard drive is full. It is possible you're trying to do something, it abruptly stop. So runtime error is not predictable. It's not predictable. So there is a special word we use in industry, intermittent. Speak with me.
Intermittent.
Again.
Intermittent.
Again.
Intermittent.
This word is very, very important because in your interview, people ask, what kind of error is difficult? Syntax error, logic error, or runtime error? The correct answer is runtime error. Runtime error is very difficult for QA to find out because anytime error occurs, QA have to write test cases. Do you agree or not? And QA has to reproduce it. Runtime error is not easy to reproduce. And that's why it will really create a confusion. You will be going crazy. Why? Because it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. And that is the reason in interview, if somebody asks, you can say, when intermittent error happens, it's very challenging. Example, you're writing Selenium test cases. You run a Selenium test cases, it works in your machine. It works in your Anushka. It works on her machine. It works in Ella machine, but it doesn't work on a Raj machine. Now what? They all can say, it works for me. The guy say, it doesn't work. Now what? His program is bad. It's working on 3. It works exactly the same way, but it doesn't work in his machine. Now, when he comes to someone's house, it works. But when they go to a Raj house, 1 or 2% program works, but others doesn't work. Now you see the problem. He coming to your house, it works. You go to his house, your program works, but other people's program doesn't work. So now this is called intermittent. It can be a lot more reason. Maybe that point of time, maybe internet is slow. Maybe point of time something is happening. Maybe the laptop you're using screen is smaller. Maybe many, many reasons. Do you guys agree or not? So that is the reason it's very important to understand what kind of error we have. Syntax error. First 3 weeks, most likely we'll have syntax error. Next 2 weeks, we'll have logical error. Runtime error you will see when you are doing Selenium. Trust me, it's going to drive you crazy. One error will take you 1 day or 1 week or 1 month. I have spent my career many, many times, and I'll be honest with you. Runtime error, one of my first project with IBM. I'm standing in front of you, because of that project. I'm going to cut the stories small. They give me a project, and the project supposed to work in like less than a couple of weeks. I have no idea. First of all, what is this project? What is the program? And I started working on it, but program doesn't work. So I'm kind of feared what will happen. What will happen? I keep trying. A lot of time, weeks pass, month pass. After 6-7 months, I was able to nail down one line was causing trouble. But you see how many months? 6 months. I could not sleep. I cannot eat. His texting is done. Hello?
Sorry, my
yeah,
daughter.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Make sure you, if you want, talk to her.
No,
No
it's
problem.
fine.
Yeah. What I was talking about?
Sorry.
Remember, I told you that first 3 weeks I need your full attention. So that I got error fix, and luckily I was approved. Means I stayed in that because I came for work visa. If you don't do it, I would not be able to complete it. But one thing I learned from that experience, there is always a solution. There is always a solution. We just need to discover it. Do you guys agree or not? So I always tell my students and my kids that, when there is a problem, think as an opportunity. What are you going to say? Opportunity. That you're going to learn more. You're going to learn more. Don't think problem as a problem. Think problem as an opportunity. You're going to have super duper mindset because you are going to have problem. Let me repeat. If you are getting into QA, it's one of the best career path. However, it's a good challenging career path because project to project, different challenge you will have. And this is a learning opportunity. After 6-7 years of experience, you will come a pro. Any problem, you will be able to fix it in less than few minutes. And that's the expertise you need to develop. And if you develop that expertise, sky's the limit. Make sense? So every programmers go through this bumpy ride because logical error, to runtime error, you need to build experience. There is no way reading book you can learn these things. The only way you can learn logical error and runtime error is by doing it. And that's why we do projects, we give you some kind of labs, some kind of homework. If you remove that, you're only learning programming. Makes sense? Syntax error only. And syntax error is very easy to learn. Logical and runtime error, you got to build in order to make money. Clear? Questions? Clear? People on phone? 3 errors clear? Logical, syntax, and runtime. Good. Now moving along. Java is very, very popular. People ask in interview why Java is popular. So first of all, Java is simple, very simple. I can give you guarantee today, I keep using tonight because normally I teach in evening. But today when you go home, before you go home, you will be able to do coding. My guarantee. Even you have never done coding, you will be able to do coding today. That giving you guarantee. What you are learning today, I did not know any of this when I came to United States. Still, I got a job in IBM. So what I'm trying to say, it's all about your confidence get you job. Knowledge, you can gain it. See, when you get a job, you can also get a training and you can build the experience. But confidence is the only way you can get a job. See, right now I'm standing here. If I'm nervous, would you like my class? Of course not, right? But when I show you confidence, I show you, I engage you, then you like it. You need to show that kind of confidence during interview. And that is the easiest way to get a job. You are spending 8 hours of work, but then there are rest of the time you can read, you can attend training, you can ask questions to friends and family members, and you can build it. In America, I like one thing. The most important thing is Saturday and Sunday. Man, any problem you can solve in Saturday, Sunday, right? Like example, I'm working and I have a problem. You can come here and ask your team member, ask me, and you resolve it. Next week again, do the same. So there is no problem in America because you have Saturday and Sunday. But when I was working in India, it's all day you have to work. So if you have a problem, how are you going to solve this problem? Because there is no other downtime. Makes sense here. Here 8 to 5, 8 to 5. It means during day also you get a lot of time, right? Lunch break, guarantee lunch break. In lunch break, I can talk to my friend and get some help, right? So I like that who become a millionaire, right? Your lifeline, call your friends or family members or 50-50, trial and error, right? So this is the approach you need to use. When you go in a job, if you don't know everything, don't shock. You will learn by talking to your colleagues. You talk to them, talk to your friends, do Googling, do trial and error. Day by day, you get better. Make sense? But it is so simple. Your problem has solution. I can give you guarantee. So simple. Object-oriented, we talk about OOPS. Did we talk about what is OOPS means? Object-oriented programming system. Object means everything is object. Anything you see, feel, or touch is object. So everything in Java is object-oriented programming. We will learn object-oriented programming on 4th week. So I'm not going to discuss today. Even I discuss today, it will go above your head. Make sense? So we'll talk about it. Distributed means Java can connect multiple machines together. Java can connect multiple machines together. So that's what distributed means. So think about that. When you're using Google, right? When you're using Google search is using many, many machines, but you get a result smoothly because they are using Java. So Java allows you to connect multiple machines together. Interpreted, this is interpreted means what happened in Java. When you write your program, each line, Java will check each line individually. So when Java check each line individually, if there is a problem, you will know right away, which is good. Do you agree or not? I like a grammar check, right? And a word has a grammar check, right? When you write a spelling, if it is bad, it gives you autocorrection or red color. That's called interpreted. Interpreted means every line is being interpreted. Every line, which is good. So you know right away. Fix it before you move forward. Because if you know there is a problem, you do not go next. Because if there is a much problem and try to fix later, it will be a nightmare. So my humble request, if you write a line, if there is a problem, fix it before you go to the next line, right? Last thing you do is write whole program and try to fix. It's not going to work. Trust me, one line fixing is pretty easy than fixing 100 lines. So interpreted program. Now Java has a one mantra, write once, run more. So first you are writing program, write once. So you are a programmer, please pay attention. This is easy. First day, remember this is first day. I need to explain this. If I try to do coding without understanding, it's just like driving without understanding rules, right? Though I wanted to drive without understanding rule, but that doesn't work here, right? You have to have first written test before you driving test. So Java programmer, when they write program, they write a program in English, and that is called high level language. What we call high level language, or sometimes we call source code. What we call source code or program. So when you write program, you're gonna write in English. Very simple. That you are writing in a NetBeans. You're gonna write in NetBeans, and NetBeans is the environment. But in that environment, you're using Java syntax, right? So you are writing program that is called syntax or source code, which is English, it's readable, but that doesn't do any good. So then Java used a special thing called compiler. Speak with me, compiler. Think about compiler is the language translator. So the compiler, just like in a person speaks Spanish, there's a compiler will translate in English. Or if a person speaks English, compiler translate into Spanish. Make sense? So just Java program which you write is called source code. What do you call? What do you call? Source code or high level language. The compiler will convert into byte code. Convert into byte code. Now you may say, what is this byte code? Just think about intermediate language, byte code. This is intermediate language. So I am intermediate language. Intermediate means between two. Makes sense or no? So right now, think about, I'm speaking Spanish. And let's say Raj is speaking, let's say Germany. So whatever Spanish I speak, Raj convert into Germany. And then let's say he talked to Prince, but Prince understand English. So then he take Germany and convert into English. Make sense? Because Raj is comfortable with maybe German and I speak Spanish. So for Raj to convert to any other language, he has to convert in his language. Yes or no? So Java used two-step approach. How many step approach? Two-step approach. So when you write program, let's say you are using Windows machine, or let's say someone is using Mac machine. Make sense or no? So when you write, you are writing that, and compiler will convert according to your machine. According to your machine. So far, so good. And this is not a real program yet. That's our intermediate language. But now you are using Windows machine, but you are giving me, and I'm using Mac machine. So I'm going to get intermediate language from you. Make sense or no? So first high level language convert into intermediate language, right? So when you give me, you're going to give me intermediate language. And then Java will use Java runtime. Remember we talk about JRE, Java runtime. Runtime means if you want to run the program, they will say, oh, your Mac. So Mac program has a runtime, and that you will understand intermediate program and then convert into machine code. Speak with me. Machine is Mac, so it will convert according to Mac and it will run. If you give this program to someone who's using, let's say, Android, then that Android will have a runtime. Yes or no? Android will have a runtime. It will read it and it will convert into machine language. So there are two steps. Coder, are we understanding? Coder are using different machine. They're writing high level language and they're using compiler to convert into intermediate language. And they give me, when they give me, like there are 6-7 students. One is Windows, one is Mac, one is Linux, one is Unix. But they're gonna give same. What they're gonna give? Intermediate language. Are we understanding or not? And that intermediate language, machine to machine, converted into machine code based on Java runtime. Make sense or no? So compiler doesn't know which machine you're gonna use. Yes or no? Compiler is just converting into intermediate language. It's called intermediate. And then the person who's running, they can run in any environment because they have Java runtime environment. As I mentioned before, 42 billion devices are using Java runtime. So what does it mean? It means if you're using cell phone, it has a runtime. If you're using tablet, it is a runtime. It is possible desktop, laptop, maybe your appliances, maybe your car, they all will have runtime. Now, each runtime will use differently. And that runtime is depend on machine. Make sense? This helps Java platform independent because Java is not converting to machine language straightforward. Java going a two-step approach. First source code, then intermediate language, and then machine language. Make sense or no? So Java doesn't go to machine language straightforward. Let's say if I convert to machine language, then it is depend on my machine, yes or no. If I give you, it won't work because my machine and your machine might be different. I'm using Dell, you're using HP, may not work. Make sense? And this was the biggest problem. C and C++. C and C++ language, please understand, C and C++ language was converting high language to machine language straightforward. So high language to machine language straightforward. So when they were converting straight, that was not platform independent. It works on the same machine. So like example, I want to run on this machine, then I have to write a program, I have to compile it, and then it will work. Then I have to go to other machine, I have to compile and run it. So it was machine dependent. But Java doesn't do anything. That's why I write a program here and I can give it to Australian students and then they will work. So Java guarantee work because it's a two-step approach. Compile in any machine, run in any machine. Clear? So three-step approach: source code, intermediate language, and machine language or machine code. Intermediate language is middle, and machine to machine, it will run because of GRE. So that's why you need a two thing: JDK for compile and GRE for run. JDK for compile and GRE for run. In your computer, I guarantee you already have GRE. You may not have JDK, but if you are using internet, you do need a GRE. Make sense or no? Because Java runtime environment is extremely important in order to run the program. Any questions so far? So far, so good? Awesome.
For the laptop,
If you, normally it doesn't come, but as soon as you use browser, it automatically adds that. But you use, first time when you use browser, it adds for you. Without GRE, your browser won't work because your browser uses web technology, right? And web technologies are normally HTML and JavaScript. In order for you to work JavaScript, you do need a GRE. So your computer by default needs GRE. If you say, I don't have it, it automatically install for you. You don't have to write, you don't have to install. When you install browser, Google Chrome or IE, it will automatically install for you.
the installation is by the browser or is it the manufacturer of the laptop?
Depends. So if your laptop manufacturer is Dell, if Dell gives you by default IE browser, then GRE is there. If they don't give you anything, just a laptop, and you are the one who is installing operating system, then you have to install. As soon as you install browser, GRE is installed. Any questions so far?
JDK is responsible for
Compiler. JDK is a compiler.
Yeah.
GRE for execution. So there are two-step approach.
And after a compiler converting binary code or
Bytecode. Bytecode is an intermediate code. You cannot read it, but it's an intermediate code.
Okay.
It's not a binary. Binary is a machine code. Binary is a machine code. Machine code means 1, 0, 1, 0. These are binary code. Binary code means machine code. But intermediate code is not a machine code. Right? Any other questions?
Compiler converts source code to
Correct. That's it. And then it doesn't do anything. But as soon as you run the program, you need a GRE. So there are two things. Remember everyone, JDK and GRE. JDK for compilers, it will check your syntax and it convert into intermediate code or / bytecode. So far so good. Let me show you the picture. So this is what I was talking about. So when you write a Java program, you use extension. You use extension .java. So any programs, like example, I write my first program, first letter has to be capital. So that's the rule number 1. First program, your first letter is capital. So example, if I write first, F has to be capital and then IRST. First letter has to be capital. And then I'll say first.java. Make sense or no? Understand the first thing what I'm teaching today. If you don't understand this part, next week your foundation is quite weak. The week after your foundation is quite weak. I'll be honest with you. If you don't understand today's class, the next week you will see a significant gap, right? So I encourage you, learning is so much fun and easy when you do right way. This is not a class where you watch TV and say, okay, let's listen, or you do other activity and this is not going to help. I would rather drop the class and maybe do when you have time. Because this class is next 12 weeks are continuous on basis. So we're going to climb like this. Make sense? So if you miss a couple of steps is equivalent to not taking class. Now I'll be honest with you, because this is a career now. You cannot have like a miss in career. This is serious action now. Make sense? That's why we are going to we didn't teach Java like this, right? We kind of prepare a lot, right? QA manual, database, Agile and all. So you kind of ramp up. That's called warm-up exercise. Now we are going on like a steep, right? So if you're climbing on a mountain, right, you have to make sure you don't take too much baggage. Do you agree or not? Lighter you are, easier you are. So every day, every task. Every day, every task. After 2 months, when you start applying, you will see the secret. What you will know is a lot more marketable. Okay? So Java program, when you compile, it will convert to byte code. Do you agree? And when you run the byte code, that program will becomes here. You need a GRE to run your program. So GRE use here, and JDK is this one. This is JDK. Make sense? So Java use two-phase approach. Can I count? Everyone is good? Awesome. Now, as I mentioned before, IDE sounds familiar. What is IDE stands for? Integrated Development Environment. Pretty good. Which one we are using? NetBeans, right? Again, I use this slide for a lot, but IntelliJ is one of the most top-notch. It's kind of Mercedes, right? Eclipse is also free. Oracle JDeveloper, which Oracle used to do, now I think they are using also NetBeans. Now, when you download NetBeans, there are many flavors of NetBeans are. Again, I'm not going to go in detail, but for mobile people, they use JME. So they use mobile people also use Java, but they have a special thing. Some people are using standard edition. Some people are using enterprise edition. Don't worry about it. It's just like a different flavor of Java, but base flavor, which JDK is common. So we are not going to worry about that. Now, this is the important. This is our first program. We're going to do it. Okay. In few minutes. I need your full attention. Okay. First, when you write a program, you start with the public first. What is public? It means anybody can access. Anybody can access. You write exactly like that. Then every program in a Java is called class. Speak with me. Lowercase. You cannot write uppercase. Lowercase. Then program name, the first letter has to be capital. And you can write any name, but don't write special case or space. Just one word. So hello world is fine, hello is fine, world is fine, first is fine, second is fine, but do not write lowercase. First letter has to be capital. When I see students write this letter in lowercase after 7th week, it hurts you. I had one student, I don't want to tell name, but she was on a last day write that. Last day, I'll repeat this thing almost 1,000 times, but still it doesn't stick. Whose fault is this, right? If you write this lowercase, it won't work. So it has to be capital. You see how beautiful red color I did? After that, you do curly brackets. Speak with me. And anything you start, you must end. So this is the start. Start means begin. So you're doing begin. So when you do begin, you have to do end. Make sense? So space and all doesn't matter, but curly bracket start, curly bracket ends. If you don't do properly, your program won't work. And if your program doesn't work, what does it mean? Which error you have? Syntax error. Which error you have? Syntax error. So syntax error will drive you crazy. The most reason people are afraid of programming because they don't know how to write program. My goal is to take your hand, step by step walk for next 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, you will understand it. I taught this thing thousands of times, so don't worry about it. You will learn it. Even if you have no background, you will still learn it. Guarantee. The only thing is follow the style, because many of you might have studied in different places, not this way, right? And I want to make sure you study right way, because here, I don't know how people teach, because I also studied and my kids are also studied. I have doubt how people teach here. Right way to teach. That's the reason programming, Obama was saying, not me, Obama was saying that only 12% people know programming in the United States. Though we are in the IT industry, we are one of the most high-tech world, 12% people. Why? Right? Because the education is important, but the teachers or other schools and all, the way they are teaching that programming become hard. My goal is to make programming is become easier. Make sense or no? So follow curly bracket, close curly bracket. Good. Now, anytime you write Java, if you want to run your program in Java, you need to write this line exactly like this. So public, static, void, and main. Main is the program method. It's a logic, main method. It will take me 3 weeks to cover this line. But because right now we're going to memorize it. We're just going to memorize it. Example, do you know Sydney? Huh? Where is Sydney? Australia. Yeah, but you know that. Why? You memorize it. I didn't visit, you didn't visit, but we know. Same thing, memorize it for now. Make sense? Because if you don't memorize, we will not be able to write program. But in next couple of weeks, I'll explain step by step. There is a lot more involved in that. But if I try to teach, you all will sleep. And I don't want to teach that way. I want to show something. When I show something, you see something, you feel good, and you go forward. This is, first letter has to be capital, string. First letter has to be capital, string. Then you have this type of rectangle block. Then this type of rectangle block. So string means spellings. Those who study database, we call characters, just like that, spelling. Here you can write anything, but you have to write it. This is the curly bracket, start curly bracket, end curly bracket. Sorry, my mistake, parenthesis. Start parenthesis, end parenthesis. And here, anything you want to print something, we call S capital system, then dot, out, then dot, println, and then you use double quotation, whatever you want to write. Make sense? Let's repeat one more time. We're going to do exercise, okay, in a few minutes, so you will enjoy that. Please understand. Public class, H capital. Make sense or no? Then this curly bracket and this closing curly bracket. Then public static void and then main. Main has this parenthesis, closing parenthesis, string S capital, right? And then rectangle bracket. This is a rectangle bracket. And then anything you write here, curly bracket, and then system S capital, dot, out, dot print, and in double quotations you can write anything, and at the end you have semicolon. Semicolon means end of the line, end of the line, end of the line, end of the line. Every line we write semicolon. Okay, so at this moment we are ready for our first exercise. So if you have a computer, you can start. You don't have to have software. I'll help you online. Okay, those who do not have internet, you can connect to training itexps 123, training itexps 123. This is lowercase t capital training. Okay, right? Don't try to connect to the infotech right now. Let's connect here. Now I'm going to go to Google, and in Google, give me a 2 seconds, and you can search also. In Google, you write Java online editor. 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 Good. Good. You do not need a NetBeans or Java because many of you may not have, and I don't want to create a challenge for you. Okay, I'll show you Java after break, so you can also see the NetBeans flavor also. Good. Okay. Now we'll use this one, online Java. This one we'll use online Java code editor and compiler. Easy. So let's see if they give me easy thing. So I click on it, and this is what they give me. Say yes. Easy. Are you guys ready?
No.
Right? See, remain easy. Trust me, it will remain easy, and we will have to follow the right way. Now, please pay attention. This is any problem?
I can't see.
What? Oh, you're not one. Could you turn a little bit further? What happened? Suddenly sunlight is coming. That's maybe the reason, or maybe the trick. Or maybe light. Could you try turn off the light? Turn off the light. Let's see. Is it better?
Thank
Yeah. Please don't sleep. No good night. Okay. No good night. It's not bad, right? I think you can see me. I can see me. Okay. Relax. Okay. First of all, public class is there. Yes or no? First letter is capital. Say yes. Curly bracket start. Curly bracket ends. Yes or no? The public static void main is there. The string as capital is there. And this is the argument. Curly bracket start. Curly bracket ends. And system as capital. Out. Println. Yes or no? Now click on run and say ta-da! Click on run and say ta-da! You got the result. Whatever you type, you see the result. So click on the run and you get the result. Give me thumbs up if you're able to do it. Hello, give me thumbs up.
Yes.
Was it that hard at all? Say yes or no, right? Now, first thing I want to do, hello. First thing I want to do is in double quotation, I want to write my name. Remember, always your name, my name, your name, whatever you want, but write down your name and then run it. Write down and run and see you are able to see your name. If yes, say ta-da! So you know now your program is working. So whatever I write, it's easy, right? Make sense or no? Now, a couple of things I want to make sure you understand. This is structure. And structure is, first you always have a class name. So this is the class name. And what is the class name here? M capital main. And then this is the method. What is you have? Method. We call main method. Main method. And that's a lowercase. Main method. This class always have its own starting curly bracket and own closing curly bracket. Make sense or no? And then the method also have its own starting curly bracket and closing curly bracket. Make sense? The program you will be writing is here. This is the place where you write program. More and more line you write. So if I remove any of this structure, computer will cry. When computer cries, is a syntax error. You will see red color. You will see error. So example, I accidentally remove this curly bracket. As soon as I remove the curly bracket and if I run the program, do you think it will work? No. So now I'm clicking that and you can see right now, it's going to cry. It says, see error. Do you see the red color? And it also give me hint here that something is missing because it saw starting but not ending. So it's very important you read about it and then you fix about it, right? Let's say example, I made lowercase s. Do you think it will, do you think it will work?
No.
Oh, so it's going to cry. It's going to cry right away because it's not going to work. So if I run now, it's going to error out. That it says, what is this one? Do you agree? So how easy it is to get you this detail. You can see right away because you write lowercase. Human nature, if we ignore small mistake, it's going to bubble up, right? I always tell people, if you focus a little bit easy thing, then you will have better result. Small things. So right, when you make mistakes, make a mental note that I'm making this mistake. Next time I'm not going to repeat. Because remember we talk about this thing. If you are R, then you will naturally make more mistakes early stage. But if you continuously train, you can become an L also, right? You're not going to remain lifetime emotional and you're not going to be lifetime logical. You change the personality based on many events. Example, you get married. Example, your kids. Example, you're studying. Example, you're getting job. This change your personality. So you're not remain lifetime. But today what I taught, we did based on that I snapshot. But after like 9 to 12 months, it is difficult. You might be different. Make sense? And that requires effort. So right now, we realize this is not a problem. So we can fix it by capital S. Let's say if I made a mistake, semicolon mistake. I didn't write semicolon. And if I run here, I will get syntax error. Do you agree or not? So syntax error is happening. And that is happening because I do not follow the grammar. Pretty good. Question, concerns, doubt. Anytime I do not write semicolon, it is crying and it is telling me that semicolon is missing. Good. Any questions so far? Everyone is clear with the structure? Say yes or no. Okay, perfect. Now I want to remove this entire line and I want to write myself my first name in one line and second my last name, right? So first I'm going to highlight and delete this line. So highlight and press space or delete it so you can remove that line. So highlight and space, so you remove that line. Highlight and space, so you remove that line. So, okay, or delete it, whatever you works. Now I'm going to write that. So let's write S capital system, then dot, then out, then print ln. Speak with me. Print ln, print ln, print ln, print ln, print ln. If you want charge it, they have charging. I will connect. Print ln, and then double quotation. You can write, let's say, your name, Tom, and semicolon. Now same thing you do here. S capital system, dot out, dot println, and you write, let's say, your last name and semicolon. Always remember you're following similar pattern. So S capital system dot out println, S capital dot and double quotation start, double quotation end. Anything you write in double quotation will be printed as is. So I should expect my output Tom and last name Patel, because I wrote two line and I do not have any error. I follow proper grammar. So anything you write in double quotation will be displayed here in 2 lines. Good. Once you write it, click on the run button and see if you are able to run it. Remember, follow the grammar correctly and you will have a zero problem, right? You're doing system.out.println. This is called SOAP. Sometimes we call SOUT. SOUT means system out. So sometimes in industry we use word SOUT. So, or SOP. Sometimes we call SOP. SOP means system out println. SOP. So they call SOP statement. SOP means system out println, because everyone knows about it. System as capital. But system is the class, is actually class, and this is the method we are using it here. Now I'm going to run it and I should expect the result. And I got the result. And I'm hoping you are also able to get the result. Good. We only change this part. We don't remove. And remember, there is a curly bracket. Don't remove this curly bracket, because anytime you make curly bracket mistake, you will have problems. So this is your best friend, and make sure you only focus on these 2 lines. Yep. Give me thumbs up if you are able to do it. Good. Awesome. Awesome. See, if you can type, you can do it, right? That's nothing special, because syntax is all about typing, right? It's all about typing, and you're typing correctly. Typing correctly. If you don't type correctly, then you will have error. And you can see on the screen, there is nothing special. I have written all we discuss and all we just mentioned here. Now I want to show you something interesting. This ln means you type first. So it will print first. So it type and then you press enter. It automatically press enter because you done ln. Ln means next line. So you type first and go to next line. What do you go? Type and go to next line. See here, it type Tom first and get to next line. Then because you have ln again, it type Patel and go to next line. Make sense or no? So sometimes people will ask, what is ln does? So ln first type, whatever you have, it will print first. And then it will press enter. Automatically it will press enter. What if I don't want to do this way, but rather I want to do this way? I want to keep both in a one line. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do both in a one line? It's okay to say yes or no. In that case, I need to remove ln. Make sense or no? Do I need to remove this ln? It doesn't matter, because if I don't press enter, this Patel will start on the same line. Do you agree? Say yes, right? Because right now this ln is pressing enter. If I remove this ln, then Tom and Patel will write the same. This ln is pressing enter for the next one. So anyway, I'm going to just show you so you'll understand. So if I do remove this thing, ln only, and if I run now, Tom Patel will be one word. So you can see Tom Patel will be one word. So you notice now ln is pressing enter and I remove the ln and now I'm getting result. Yeah, and you can see that. Any question here? If I remove that, so what happened is write Tom and then immediately Patel will be written immediately. And there is no gap. So you can see that all are in one word. There is no gap. Do you see that? There is no gap. So if I want to create a gap, I need to write gap in the double quotation. So I can say Tom, then space. Yes or no? So if I want to do gap, I can do space here, or I can do space here. Whatever I do here in the double quotation, it will be printed. So if I give a space, it will show the space here. Make sense? So anything you write in double quotation, it will display exactly like that. Any problems so far? Easy? Huh? Easy. Do you agree? Make sense or no? Now, I don't want to write two lines. I want to write a Tom and Patel just like that, but with one line. So I'm going to remove this line. Highlight and just press space so you can remove. Highlight and do space. So you just remove this line, you remove. Right? Now, after Tom, give a space. After Tom, give a space and say Patel. And then now run it. So when you run this thing, you are getting one line. So you can see here, I'm writing everything in one line. So it's up to us how you want to write it. If you know both value, you can write in a one line like this. We are only touching one line. So it's important you see it and see. Only thing I did that, only changing this thing. Good. Now let's say I want to write in a two line, Tom and Patel. Even though I'm writing in a one line, I want to write in two line. So there is a way you can do it. So what happened right now, please see on the screen, whatever you're writing in a double quotation, it is printing as is. So if you want to write Tom and Patel, then here we can say /n. What are you going to say? /n. So /n will say, first you write Tom and /n means press enter and then write Patel. So see on the screen, remember, always see on the screen and you try it. See here, always see on the screen. Remember, hello, hello, make sure you see on the screen. So if you write /n here, and if you run now, it will go to the next line. /n press enter. /n will press enter. So /n press enter. /n is the backward slash, which is above the enter, above the enter. So above the enter, there is just the switch is there, right? So if you see enter switch on your keyboard, right? Enter switch on your keyboard, there is a switch here which shows backslash like this, like this. This is the backslash. So you write /n. N means new line, right? So you can see system, everything is there. I wrote in one line and it's /n, it press enter. Raj, could you help?
I'm sure they can how to memorize.
You don't have to memorize. You just need to listen to me. You just listen to me and you do it. There is no need to memorize. Please don't need to memorize at all. There is no need. It will naturally, you will understand. If you speak same thing hundreds of times, if you write hundreds of times, it will be natural, right? You don't have to memorize. I'll tell you when it need to be memorized. So far, so good. Was it hard so far? Say yes or no? No. Okay. Now, remember one thing, your program is not working. There are three reasons. Listen carefully. Your program is not working. There are three reasons. First, you are not seeing it. Second, you are not understanding it. And third, you're not typing it. So your program doesn't work on three things. If you see it, 99% it will work because we are not doing anything special right now. So first see it. Second, understand what I'm saying. And third, type correctly. Because if you type incorrectly, there is nothing will work, right? So it's extremely important. You see it, understand, and type it. If you don't type, your muscles memory will be weak. Those mistakes you are making here, you can correct it immediately because you know it. If you are not able to see it, understand it, when you go home and if you have a mistake, you will be frustrated. Whose fault is this? It's a learning as a style. So if you don't know, question, see it. I'm going to give you recording. Most likely recording will be available by tomorrow. Watch it a couple of times. I always tell people, and I'm repeating again, when you are climbing the mountain, first few miles will be pretty hard. But once you build a muscle memory, you can easily climb further. And that is the reason first 3 weeks, I need your help. Because what I say, I try, and you will be fine. Now, I want to create a table like this. Please pay attention. Always remember, when I explain, I need attention. The mistakes you're making because you're not paying attention. So please pay attention. I'm going to create a table called ID. Let's say ID. And then I'll say item. Please pay attention. ID and item. And between that, I want to create a nice space. Then I'll say ID1 and item is TV. Then I want to say 2 and item is VCR. Like that. I want to do that. Now, all these things I can do in one line. It looks like multiple lines, but I can do in one line. And the power of doing that one line, there are two things I want you to understand. /n means new line. So if after this you press enter, so you go to new line. Make sure you see here. Everyone is seeing, okay? After going that, you press /n, which is new line. And if you want the space, then you can say /t. /t means tab. Make sense? So /t will tab. Tab means you want to create a gap. So anytime I want to create a gap, I'm going to say /t, /t, /t. But anytime I want to go to new line, what am I going to do? /n. Okay. So we're going to do step by step. No panicking. We're going to remove this part. We're going to remove this part from inside. And let's do step by step. So why don't you remove this and write ID, then one space and /tab and one space item. And now run it. So you understand what I'm trying to do here. See here, because of a /t, you see nice gap is here. So far, so good. See, learning is so much fun. Do you agree or not? I give you a guarantee. Today itself, you are learning quite a good of Java, right? So Java become easier day by day, right? Now, always see on the screen. Remember, it's easier it will become, right? We are not doing anything special. We are just typing here, right? So whatever I write ID, it print ID, and then there's a /t. This is because of /t. So I create a tab. It created a tab. Tab means 7 space. So it created tab /. Now I want to press enter. How do I press enter? Hello. Always see on the screen. Remember, the error you are having is because you are not paying attention. I want you to all pay attention. As I said before, we all are learning from different places. But if you want to learn right way, focus, listen, do it. There is no other way. All are learning first time. Why me having error? Right? We need to make sure that we realize that. All error will disappear. Pay attention, listen, and do it. We are not writing big program. We should not have any error right now. Make sense? And trust me, it will become much more fun when things go well. Now I want to go to next line. So what's the next line? /n. So first I'm going to write after item, I'm going to say /n immediately, /n, and then I'll do after item /n and I'll say 1, and then space and /t and TV, and then do TV. Now run yourself and see what happens. See here, /t, /n, this /n is here. So it gives you enter. And this one, the one is this one. And then /t, which is giving you the blue item, the space. See here? There is nothing special here because /t means tab. Do you agree? /t means tab. The only reason you're doing /n because you want to go to next line. Do you agree or not? How many of you got the result? Awesome. When you see the result, you feel good, right? Yes or no? Yeah. I personally think I spent 5 weeks and I did not learn this much. Because they taught theory. The only thing I learned, which you are the first program, in double quotation, hello world. That's all in 5 weeks I learned. And when I came and asked, IBM asked, do you know Java? My answer was yes, because I knew hello world. That's the only thing I knew. It was super duper challenging to perform without not knowing. Yes or no? Our challenge here is paying attention, but you will learn in and out. So performing is not a problem at all because you know the concept. Now I want to add another item. What should I do here? Because I need to press enter now. Yes or no? So if I want to press enter, what should I do? /n. Let's do that. So /n and then number 2, then space /t and then VCR. Now run it and see the magic. And let it come. Okay. So now you can see here, anytime I do /n, it gives me the next line. Anytime I give /n, it gives me the next line, right? And you can see after /n, I have number 2, and the number 2 is this one. So that number 2 is visible here. And then rest of this magic of /t. /t does tab. See how nice table is created? So you just understood /n for new line and /t as a tab. If you're going for Java certification, 2 questions will be asked for /n and /t. Any questions so far? Anything which is bothering you, concerning, not clear, feel free and ask questions. Good. So it's time for us to take a. I'll go back to the PowerPoint. Everyone is comfortable. We are able to do that. I'll explain NetBeans a little bit later. But the Java part works in a 3-step approach. Please see here. These are basic questions you may see in the Java certifications and Java interview. So when you are writing one program, we call class. When you write second program, we call class. We can write third program, we call class. But then we can create a group. We can create a group. And when you create a group, that we can say these class are become part of accounting package. And we can say other classes, maybe marketing package. Other classes, so we are grouping like kind of folder structure. So we are grouping other classes are becoming, let's say, IT package structure or shopping cart. So we can group classes into multiple packages. So first is the class, and classes are grouped. Multiple classes are grouped under package. So what is package? It's a little bigger. So example, class may be city. So multiple cities are packaged in a one state. Make sense or no? So whenever I say package, it's nothing but grouping. In one package, you can have many classes. Make sense or no? So class is one program. When you have a bunch of programs, you group them and say accounting package, marketing package, shopping cart package, transportation package. So package means bunch of classes. Speak with me. Package means, and then you combine all together. All package and together. When you combine all package together, then it becomes a project. So first level is a project. The second level is the package. Second level is the package, and third level is the class. Are you understanding? Right? First level is project. Second level is, and third level is. So project is the master folder. And then there are subfolder which we call package. And one package can have multiple classes. So far, so good. Now, normally when you write a project meaningful name. Then you write a package, and then you write a class. Normally in your project lifecycle, you will always write test classes. So most of you will be writing test classes. So your package will be starting with test like that. Your package will start with test dot something. Make sense or no? Because you are writing test. But in industry, when they write a package, they follow some naming conventions. They follow naming conventions. The naming conventions are like that. They start with com. Com means commercial. Speak with me. Com means commercial, lowercase. Then they write a company name. So if I write AMG, Amazon, so that's Amazon. That's a company name, AMG. Then company, then they will have division. So division may be web, means web division. And in that web, specific module. So example, shopping cart. So this kind of way naming conventions work. Make sense or no? So first is the com stands for commercial. AMZ, which is nothing but company. And third is nothing but division. And fourth is nothing but the subdivision. Make sense? So example, if I want to write IT experts, what should I do? Com, IT expert training. Com, IT expert staffing. Make sense or no? Com, IT expert services. So that is the way naming conventions work. Package normally lowercase. Packages are in lowercase. And one project can have one or many packages. And one package can have one or more classes. Are we clear? Now, it is possible here you write a class called hello. That class you cannot write again in the same package, but you can write in other package, same class, and that's not a problem. Make sense or no? So same class can exist in multiple packages. They might have different logic. So you can have name same, but logic different, and that's fine. Make sense? One class have name called hello exist in one package, same name you may use in another package. Sounds good? Clear? Any questions so far? So speak with me. Project, package, and classes. Project, package, and classes. This will be 3 questions in your Java certification exam. Do you think it's hard? Now, I'm surprised with this, such an easy exam. When I completed, and recently many students completed, this certification, when you complete, it kind of give you stamp that you're expert. Make sense or no? You can say, I have taken training, but when you have certification, no question asked, because it's kind of credibility you get. Only $60, $70. Preparation time, maybe after we complete, maybe a 1 week. It's not that complex exam. But this question they will ask, the hierarchy or structure, project, package, and class. Now, moving along.
You can have,
Sorry?
so you can have multiple classes with the same name within the package. Is that correct or incorrect?
It is incorrect. If your name, let's say Mike is a name, in one package, only one Mike class can exist. But if you want to create the similar class in other package, yes, it is possible. So if you different packages you have, then you can have the same class exist in 2 packages, but same name you cannot use in same package. Make sense or no? Same package, same name cannot be used, but in different package, yes, you can use it.
And you can have multiple packages within a project?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a hard drive, folder, and a file.
Yep. Well, you will see in a few minutes. I'll show you. Now, data types. So today we are going to use some data types. I always tell people the best way to do data types is data and type. So I'm going to pick a volunteer. What's your name?
Are you?
Oh, coffee.
Yolanta?
Spells.
Spell it. J
J.
O
O
L
L
A
A
N
N.
T.
Now I remembered. J, right? Some
J.
reason J, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, some reason I was saying G, but now J. Yeah, perfect. Jolenta. Okay. Now, out of this data type, where that match, is it a number? Is it a decimal? Is it a date? or is it a spelling? Spelling.
Spelling.
So if it is spelling, it doesn't fit anywhere. Make sense or no? So this is data type called string data type. What type of data type? String. What type? String. And string data type is S capital. String data type S capital. So example, if I say my email, if my email, what kind of data type? String. If I say country name, first name, last name, address, very simple. So that's the one. This will be exam questions. They will ask you example and say which will be the data type. Normally they will use one question string, but they give you three string. One is lowercase string, one is capital string, and one is S capital string. So that way you need to understand it's not just a string, but first letter S capital string. Next, how many students we have in a class?
20.
So let's say 20, just an example. I don't think we have 20, but let's assume 20. So if you're 20, where would you fit?
Integer.
Integer. So that's a pure number. What is the gas price today?
3.35.
3.49. So it's a decimal. So when you're decimal, where would you fit? Float. So whenever you use float, remember this thing when you do homework, okay? Don't ask me. Anytime you use float, you use along with the number F at the back. So that signifies this is a float. Otherwise, it will understand this is a double. Make sense? So anytime you use F lowercase after the number, it will understand this is the float. Otherwise, it will understand as a double. So example, my salary. What would be the data type? Float. How many friends I have? Right? How many books I have?
Integer.
Let's say here, if example, male versus female. If I use M, gender, male versus female. So this is one character. So what would be the data type? Character. Right? Are you working? True or false? Are you working? True or false? If your answer is true or false, then what would be the data type? Boolean. Then it will Boolean. Are you owner? Are you renting? Are you happy? Are you not happy? So if you are expecting answer true or false, then data type is Boolean. Make sense? So we're going to do this exercise. Let's go back to our program. The program we were used to do, this one. Now, this time, delete this line. Delete this line, and you will have empty structure. Right? Now we're going to write small programs just so you can comfortable. I'm using data type. So there's a structure here. Structure is first you write data type. So the data type is int. That's a data type. Int means pure number. If I write float, means decimal. If I write string S capital, means spelling. Right? If I say character, means one character. And if I say Boolean, then true or false. I'll show you that. So first you write data type. Mostly data types are lowercase except string. String S capital. Then you write a variable. So example, if I say X, lowercase x variable, and if I say equals to 1, and then I write semicolon. What does it mean? So this is the variable. Please pay attention. Variable. So variable means temporary storage. Speak with me.
Temporary.
So example, I'm saying this is Ramesh, but he's not Ramesh actually. He is human. Yes or no?
Mhm.
But I gave him a label, Ramesh. So whenever I say Ramesh, everyone think about that. So in a computer, we have two things. Remember when I say program, two things we talk about, data and instruction. But data is in memory, yes or no? Data is in, and if you want to do memory, I need to have pointers. So we say Ramesh is a pointer. So here X is pointing to 1. So what is the value of X?
1.
Can I use Y? Yeah, it's a pointer. Can I use Z? Yeah. So you can use any variable you want because you want to store something. Then you have two choice. You use variable. So here I'm using variable X Y, Z, A, B, C, anything I can use. Make sense or no? So example, if I want to store my name, what would be the data type? String,
String.
right? And if I want my name, the name, and equals to, because names are in spelling, so I'll write double quotation, Tom. And now, and then semicolon. So this is my variable, and this is my value. Do you agree or not? So name is the variable, value is Tom, and data type is string. Example, let's say I want to write miles, a gas price. Let's write a gas price. See here. So I say float, please pay attention. We are not writing right now. Please pay attention. See here, float, data type, gas price. So I'll say gas price, one word, equals to $3.49. And then I'll use F. F stands for float. And now what is the variable here? Gas price. So this is the variable. Variable means temporary storage, temporary storage. And what is this? This is the value. So now if I use this variable anytime, they automatically get this value. Yes or no? Because this is called assign. Speak with me. So this variable has this value, and that it will maintain it. It will maintain it in entire program. So we're going to do it. So you're going to learn it. So far, so good. Now, write down this thing. Int A comma B comma C and semicolon. How many variables I define?
Three.
Three variables. What is the data type?
Integer.
So if integer is a data type, default value will be 0. So they all have default value 0. Because if it is integer, then default value will be 0. So all three has default value 0. So far, so good. Everyone is doing good? Awesome. So if A, B, C, where three variables are there, all are defined, initial value will be 0. Now, writing programming has 4-step approach. This is the golden thing. I want 100% attention. 100% attention. No multitasking, no texting, nothing. Not even dreaming, daydreaming. Okay, make sure you pay attention. Next 15 minutes, you will understand secret of programming. So first, when you write a program, the first thing is declare variable. Speak with me. Declare variable. Declare variable. And that's what we did. This is called declare variable. You cannot write program without variables. So variable, you define type and the variable name. So A, B, C are name, and int is the data type. And the value by default, they have 0. So first thing is declare. The second, input or assignment. Input or assignment. Input or assignment. Assignment means giving value. So if I say A equal to 5, means I'm giving value 5 to A, yes or no. If I say B equal to 6, means I'm giving 6 to B, yes or no. So A and B assignment. So assignment means you are giving value to variable. Make sense or no? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Good. The third is the process. Process. Process means what you are doing, math or logic. So example, if I say C equals to A plus B, C equals to A plus B, what does it mean? A and B, so what is the A value? 5. And what is the B value? Am I asking tough question? 5 plus 6. You need a calculator? What would be the value of C now? 11. Yes or no? So that is called process, either math or logic. So you take the input, A and B already have value, 5 and 6. So 5 plus 6 will be now 11. So C got the value. So here process was addition. Process was addition. Can I do multiplication? Yeah. Can I do divisions? Yes or no? So here the plus, minus, multiplications, division, these are called math operator. Math operator, you know, right? Math, right? I hope you know, right? 2 plus 2 means 4 and 3 plus 3 means 6, right? We studied in grade 2, grade 3. So those operators we are using here as well. So third process, clear? The last one is output. Output means what you want to display. So if I want to display correct answer, which is C here, then my output will be C. So I can say SOP. You know SOP, right? System out println, and you can say double quotation, C equals to plus C equals to plus C. So I can print the C value, and that's your output. Every program in the world follow this four thing. First, declare variable. Speak with me. Variables. Second, input or assignment. Third and fourth, clear? Can I do output without input? Can I do input then process, or process and input? First I need an input, then I can do process. Can I do reverse? Process first and input later? No. So this is a logical thing. If you do not know variable, can you write program? And you cannot write program. So how do you come up with variable? We're going to learn in 15 minutes. Trust me, it's easy if you pay attention. Never delay, never, I'll do tomorrow. No, make sure you pay attention so you'll understand. So we're going to write first program for the day. So let's get started. So variables are declared. Now we're going to say A equals to 5 and semicolon, and say B equals to 6 and semicolon. So that's my input. If you want to write a comment, in Java, there are many ways you can write comments. So I can write 2 forward slash and I can say input like that. 2 forward slash means input, and I can say process, 2 forward slash process, and I can say C equals to A plus B. And then I say output, and I'll say system out, S out system dot out dot println. And I can say double quotation C equals to plus C and semicolon. So entire program, I wrote it. After I right click and run here and see the result. And then I'll explain that step also. I got a system, spelling system, SYSTEM, right? System, right? Out println. And I got the result. I'll explain that. We'll do again multiple times. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. Okay, C11. So you can see now I got C11. So you can easily see my steps here. Relax and do it right. Okay. First step, I declare variable. That's my first step. Declare variable. That's the step number 1. The second variable step is I took input. So that's my input. That I'm giving input. That's my second step. The third step, I'm doing process, which is this is my process. And fourth step, I'm doing my output, where I'm printing output here. So that's my output. Now I say double quotation C equals to, it printed as is, C equals to. And when I say plus, plus means join. Plus means join. And then I say print C. C means whatever answer you got here, that you're printing the variable answer C. So A got 5. You can see here, A got 5. So A got 5 and B got 6. So 5 plus 6 will be 11, and you got 11 as a value. Make sure you type correctly, save it and run it. If you have a problem, compare your screen with mine. I'll give a couple of minutes. Make sure you are able to run this program. If you're able to run, keep giving me thumbs up. So at least I know at least you're able to do it. Awesome. And if you're able to do it, I would say congratulations and good job. Most likely you will not have any problem in coming weeks because you know how to write 4 steps. Declare variable, then input, then process, and then output. Remember, declare variable, input, process, and output. If you have a problem, compare my screen versus your screen, you will not have any problem. The forward slash which I'm using here, that is for comment. That line computer will ignore that line. So if you write, double forward slash, then this line will be completely ignored. Computer will not read that line. So if you make a spelling mistake, no problem. Each line has a semicolon, if you notice that. Do you agree or not? And the semicolon means end of the line. The plus means join. Double quotation, whatever you write, it prints as is. Questions, concerns, doubt? Good.
So I have a So if the process was B minus A,
Mhm.
and you would still write plus B in the output.
See, it's your process. If you say C equals to B minus A, like that, here it's a join. You have to write plus. You have to write because you're printing, first you're printing. So if I write answer here, right, then it will print answer here. Makes sense? Whatever you want to print, right? Whatever you want to print, you write in double quotation. And whatever you want to join with that, this join, and this is the variable. So you're actually joining these things as is. So you write here C equal to. If you don't like C and if you want to say answer equal to, you can say answer equals to in double quotation, right? And then plus C, and it will print answer equal to. It will print that. So whatever you write in double quotation, you will see in output. Plus will join and display the variable.
Right?
Plus means join. Everyone got it? Anyone who has a trouble, if you are trouble here, please speak up. Please speak up. Please ask your neighbor, talk to me, talk to others, talk to your neighbor, ask. Because if you cannot do first program this, then you will have syntax problem. You don't know how to write syntax. And if you don't write syntax, you cannot write program, right? So talk to your left and right neighbor and try to see, hey, why am I not able to run this program? Because you might have small syntax error. You need to learn how to write syntax correctly. That's why I'm doing color. You see my colors, right? The reason I'm doing colors, so you can see when you watch recording, it's easy for you. I used to do whiteboard, but it doesn't help. But this one helps a lot. So this way we are doing that. Unfortunately, there are 3 colors. Otherwise, I would use more color, right? Good. So what is input here? A and
A
B,
and
not
B.
C. What is input here? A and B. A has a 5 and B has 6. What is the process here?
C equals to
A plus B. A plus B is the process. A plus B is the process. And what is C here?
output.
Output.
Out.
Output, not outcome. Output. Outcome is a benefit. Output is the result, right? So anytime you do programming, you have to think about what is my variable, what's my input, what's my process, and what's my output. If you do not have that clarity, you should not go and write a program. You have to take time. Think about what's my input, what's my process, what's my output. You have to continuously think about it. We are human. Sometimes we stuck, but as you stuck, you get more clarity. But you have to ask questions. Leverage your left or right neighbor. See on the screen, but don't just assume, oh, I'll do next better, because you are building on error. And if you're building on error, every program will have error. If you're building on success, every program will be successful. So right now we are learning first thing, 4-step approach, declare variable. So if I write capital A variable here, will it work? No, because Java is a case sensitive. So if you write variable A capital, I have to use everywhere A capital. Make sense or no? You cannot mix match because Java is a case sensitive. Make sense or no? Java is a case sensitive. So you cannot write mix match the variable. Good. If I want to do multiplication, the only thing I need to change here is just start here. And if you do that, now you can run it and program will work and it will multiply that. So that's called operator. So you can change the operator of your choice. So you can see now I get 30. Make sense or no? Because I did a multiplications. So 5 times 6 will be 30. Easy, right? I don't want to write C here. I want to write answer here. So what should I do? Instead of C, what am I going to do? Result or answer. So I can just change here and I can say A capital answer, doesn't matter what I want. I can write it and now run it. So it will show me answer, right? So you can change the way you want. It's your choice. And you will get the output answer 30 because you change the double quotation answer 30. So whatever you write here in double quotation, it will display here. And the 30 is your variable value. Make sense? So now I want you to use 2 types of learning human does. Okay, I need attention. 2 types of learning human does. And I'm teaching with the psychology aspect on that. Remember we did this thing, right? There is a logic behind it. It's a psychological mindset, right? So there are two types of psychology mindset we do. One, we normally do sequential learning. Sequential learning. So sequential learning means if I do one step, then I'll go to second step. In case if you have played a game, right? Eeny, miny, mino, mo, right? Like step by step. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We do that. And it's a sequential learning, easy to learn. And the second thing is called cognitive learning. Cognitive learning. Now, cognitive learning is challenge because this is where logic starts. Right? Now, I'm going to give you an example of sequential learning from this. You have to modify this program. You have to modify this program. Don't jump on it. Understand it. So you need to modify the program. Are we clear with variables? Say yes or no. Those variables you declare, can I use anywhere X if I don't declare them? If I use X here, I will have an error. Yes or no? Yeah. Because it's called syntax error. You have not defined the variable. You cannot use it, right? So you need to have variable. So how the heck I will know all my variables? So that is coming from problem statement. Speak with me. Again. Again. Very clear? So now my problem is very simple. That I'm done. No, my car MPG. What is my car? MPG. So what is MPG means? Miles per has nothing to do with programming. Do you guys agree or not? Everyone in the real life knows miles per gallon, right? So MPG, miles per gallon. Now, if I say miles per gallon is equals to miles divided by, what should I write? What should I write? Gallon. Yes or no? And then I can say semicolon here. So now I have formula. This is called process. Process, yes or no? Yes. So what is the process here? Miles divided by gallon. Yes or no? Miles. Yeah. So if I write this thing a little bit this way, please pay attention. Remember, I'm not teaching programming. I'm teaching math right now. MPG equals to miles divided by gallon. So if I say divide, just like I use here multiply, you will not have problem. Yes or no? Gallon. Say yes or no. Yes. Now, semicolon. So if my miles are 200, if my miles are 200 and my gallon is 10, what would be my MPG? Prince, what would be my MPG? 20. Could you guys modify this program with miles, gallon, and get me answer MPG 20? Modify. Go ahead and modify. You have everything in front of you. Modify this program and get me MPG. Remember, you have everything in front of you. You do not need anything else.
You cut out right after you said problem statement and up until the point where you wrote the MPG. Could you repeat that part?
Sorry, what's the question, Mike?
Right after you said problem statement, you cut out up until you wrote MPG. So I don't know what.
Yeah, that is my problem statement. I want to find out what is my MPG for my 2006 car. What is my MPG? So MPG, in order to find my MPG, I need a formula, right? Miles divided by gallon, and then we started. So now you know enough. Miles divided by gallon, that's a formula. So you have variables. You have everything. Could you get me what is my car MPG if miles are 200 and gallon is 10, right?
20.
Please understand, you are not going to use ABC. What variable you going to use? Miles, MPG, and gallon. So your variable will be miles, like that in English, right? Miles, then comma, gallon, then comma, MPG. Yes or no? Now, once you are done with that, you are going to say, instead of A, what are you going to say? Miles. but miles are given 200. Yes or no? And gallons are given 10, right? Gallons are given 10. And the formula is in front of you. And you will print the answer. And here MPG. Here you will say MPG. And then run your program. And if you get me MPG equal to 20 and you don't use ABC, then you are done a sequential learning. And if you can do that, it's a good thing. Don't take me wrong. It's a good thing. Means you know how to progress from existing program to next program. This is very important skill. How many of you did? Give me thumbs up. Please. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Not bad. Right? Yeah. Talk to your neighbor in case if you're having error. It's okay. Remember, each person has a different level and nothing wrong in that. Keep asking, keep learning, but you are changing the variables A, B, C to miles per gallon. So I'm going to quickly do now because I gave time, but I'm going to do it. So check it out. I can write variable in any order, doesn't matter. I can write MPG first and gallon later. I can write that. And then I can write here miles, right? Yes or no? Quickly. And miles are 200. I'm writing here, and gallons I can write. So gallon, I write that, and let's say gallon was 20. So now the formula was, what was the formula? MPG equals to miles divided by gallon. And now answer equals to MPG, right? So I wrote that. Now, if I save it and if I run it, I got the answer. Writing programming is, oh, my car is now, oh,
20.
oh yeah, that's fine. But my car is really not giving good MPG. So I have to replace now. But it's so expensive. Cars are expensive. So I'm thinking it's okay. 10 is fine. No problem. I'm not driving too much. Any questions in this program? Are we clearly understanding variables? Are we clearly understanding inputs, process, output? Say yes or no. Very good. Now I'm going to give you another sequential challenge. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So Bob, I'm sure you know Bob, right? Bob Builder is working in Walmart. Is working on a Walmart. So this is Walmart. And he says, what is my salary? He's asking you to calculate the salary. So you come in picture, he wants salary. So what inputs you need in order to calculate Bob's salary? Hours
Rate
and
output.
rate. Now what's the process? Salary equals to hours, time,
Rate.
rate. Yes or no? Now can you modify this program and get me salary, not answer, okay? I need salary. Where hours, he works 40 hours and his rate was $15 because of thanks to Mr. Biden, right? $15. So he has a $15 salary and he worked 40 hours. Get me salary 600. Make changes in the program, be comfortable. Remember, you are doing sequential learning. Human nature, we do sequential learning better. Human nature. HR.
How much?
40.
And what is the rate?
$15. He's not making too much money. That's why he's coming for Java training. See, many of you came first time maybe, and you're able to do coding, right? And that is the power of, best way to learn. Most step by step is practicality. You understand syntax, you're able to write a program, you're able to see the result, and that's so success. It's not hard at all. You are writing program. I just saw one, you wrote 2 program, and that is the power of understanding. Trust me, if you can do in one day this much, we have a long run to go. We will learn a lot. Good. Can I count? Everyone is doing good, right? So what's your variables? Hour, rate, and salary. And what's your input? Hour equals to 40 and rate equals to 15. And what's your process?
Salary equal to hours into rate.
What times rate? And what's the output? Awesome. Salary equals to
600.
output is your salary, right? So here, whatever variable you have salary, you're going to put it here salary, and here you're going to say salary. Make sense? So salary equal to 600. Any questions in this program before I switch over to my PowerPoint? Good? Everyone is doing good so far? Now, a couple of things I want to make sure you know before you go further. In your homework, you can use this thing, but when you do the homework, you can take a print screen. In your computer, your print screen, or use snip, whatever you work for you. You copy this thing up to answer like this and put it in a Word document, or you can upload your image itself. So I can see the program and I can see the output. Yes or no? There are two ways you can do. One, you can use snip tool. Every computer has snip tool. Many classes I explain. Or you can use print screen. Every computer has a print screen button. You take a print screen and then put in a Word document one by one, or keep the images and upload. If you have a problem, maybe ask neighbor, do a little bit of research. If you want, I can help you during break time or before the class, come a little bit early also. But you need to do homework. Some homework will be identical what I cover in a classroom. But when I show it, you do it, it's easy. But when I don't show it and you do it, at that time you might struggle. And that's the reason we have to create a muscle memory. Muscle memory means declare, input, process, output. Declare, input, process, output, semicolon, variable, process, output, capital. That is the muscle memory. And that is called syntax. That is called syntax. The best way to learn is doing it. If you memorize it, it's not going to work. But you do it, it becomes second nature. Sounds good? Any questions so far? Almost everyone is able to do it. Yes or no? Awesome. So let me go back to the slide. First, let me go to the Google class. So in Google class, couple of requests. All of you should join to the WhatsApp group. That way, if you run with the issue, you just click it on your phone and you join WhatsApp group. So that will join you in a QA class. If you already joined, you don't have to join. But if you are not joined, you join the WhatsApp group. Because if you have a problem, just like example, if I run a problem, you take a screenshot and put in a WhatsApp, hey, I'm having this problem. Can you help me? Anyone can help, or I can at least help you. So that's one thing. The second thing, if you scroll down now, I already posted you homework. The homework are very similar what I covered today. So you can see your homework. So if I click here, it's a homework here. Miles per gallon, I explained. I just gave you this thing. You need to figure it out, variables and all, right? Yes or no? And now some questions. You will be able to explain that. Something I have not explained, like example Maven. I want you to look a little bit Google, because I'm going to cover in coming class, right? So sometime I explain and sometime I have not explained. You will be trying to do. Don't, he didn't taught me. In a real life, there will be so many things which I have not taught you, but you have to figure it out, right? So that will help you to figure it out. If you search in a Google or now new tool available in market, right? ChatGPT, you write, it will tell you, right? Or if you ask Alexa, what is Maven? Alexa will tell you, trust me. So tools are there, use all the tools. These are called resources, right? I want you to learn that, because if I teach you and if you do that, it's one way to learn. And when you trial and error, research, and that's another way to learn. So make sure you do that and upload all those things in a Google class. Any questions with respect to homework? Right? Now, software. Because this software are pretty complex software, it takes time to download these two software. You have to download JDK and you have to download NetBeans. How many of you have downloaded JDK and NetBeans? Just raise your hand. Okay. Those who have not downloaded, you observe. And those who downloaded, you can do the exercise this one. Those who have not downloaded, listen carefully. I sent 2 emails already. Hello. I sent 2 emails. I already have information in Google class. After going home, you can download. Yes or no? But those who have downloaded, you can do this exercise just to give idea how it works. Okay. Just to be comfortable. I'm recording the session. So those who are not able to do now, you can do when you watch recording. Sounds good? before we go home, I want to make sure you're comfortable with the NetBeans. Ready? So let's start with the NetBeans. So first thing first, you search net on your Apache Net or Net. Either you search Net or Apache Net, you will see some kind of square, cube kind of thing, right? Yes or no? If you're able to see that, search Apache, A-P-A-C-H-E, Apache, and you will see that if you have installed. So just click on it. So when you click on it, it will start. This takes a lot of memory. So your computer becomes slow. So if you have a very old computer, it will be very slow. So that's why you need, this is right now mine 8.02, your will be 12 or 13 or 14. No worry. Right now NetBeans is starting, it comes in memory. Okay. Those who have it, you do it. Those who don't have, you don't have to worry about it. So right now it's starting. Please understand, this software needs high-end machine. If you're using, let's say, Google Chrome, right? There's a machine, right? Google Chrome and all, it won't work. It only works if it's a real machine. So if you are using tablet or if you're using lighter machine, it will not work fast and you will get bored. It won't work. Okay. Can I count everyone is seeing something like this welcome page? You might have welcome. Yes or no? What you are seeing right now on your screen? You need to speak up. NetBeans, do you see welcome or something? Yeah, if you're seeing welcome like this type of thing, there will be an X button somewhere. Close that if you can. Are you guys able to see the menu like this? If you are able to see the menu, then you follow me. Okay, ready? People on phone, are you guys able to see something like this or no? Give me thumbs up if you are. Okay, a couple of people are saying good. Okay, so now first thing we're going to do, click on a file menu. So we're going to click on a file menu. Click on a file menu. Then we'll go to new project. We'll click on a new project. So first file menu and click on a new project. Doable? Remember we talk about three things: project, package, and classes. I'm going to show you that. Project, package, and classes. Are you guys ready? So file menu, new project. Now you will have a first line item. Java with Maven or Maven with Java. What do you see here? Java with, click on it. Java with Maven, click on it. I have Maven here because I use old software. I'm going to click here, but you will click here. Java with Maven. So far, so good. Okay. Now do next, and your screen will be similar like mine. You will see something like that project name. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? Project name first. Right? Project name first. Right? Project name first. Don't worry about all those things. Don't worry about it. We'll do later. But you can see here it writes something like this. It writes, I'll cover that part in coming class. Don't worry about everything. Just write project name. Doable? Yes or no? Now you just say finish. So when you see finish on your left side, you will see somewhere first project will be created with the folder structure project first, and that will be the name which you just created here. So whatever name you created, you will see that project folder. Let me know if you're able to see that. Say yes or no. Okay, I'm gonna hide this thing so mine and your will be same. Don't worry about it right now. I'm gonna hide it. Close 18 project, and I'm gonna hide this thing. So we are both are similar. So like this, you see plus sign, expand that, expand, expand, and expand like this. So you can see here, I expanded this thing and I expanded this. Your structure and my structure will be similar. Say yes or no. Okay. Now you can see this is the project and this is the package. Do I have class? You might have. I don't have it. How many of you have class already? If you don't have, don't cry. We'll do it. Some of you might have a class automatic because if you use certain version, it creates a class automatically. So if it create a class, you can use it because it has a main method automatically written. Main method automatically written. but right now we don't have, don't worry about it. I want to show you, you can create another package. So right click here, right click here, right click here. So you right click, go to new and say Java package. Do you see Java package somewhere? Like that, say yes. Remember, you have to follow me. Right click, new Java package. Right click, new Java package. Right click, new Java package. So when you right click new Java package, you can create as many packages you want. So I'm going to say, like example, marketing. I'm writing marketing. So that's a package. I can also add on top of that com.itexps marketing, like that. So what I did is com stands for commercial. Com stands for commercial, then dot itexps. What is itexps? Company name. Make sense or no? And then I say marketing. Make sense or no? So com.itexps marketing. You don't have to write, but this is the way most company writes. com.itexps.marketing. And when I do finish, I will have next project. Do you guys agree? One project can have many packages. Say yes or no. Good. Now, right click on a first marketing package and say new Java class. Right click on a first new Java class. Right click on a first and say new Java class. New Java class. New Java class. Make sense or no? So if you say right click new Java class, it will give you class name. So I'll write my class name. If you have already class name called first, you should not create it. If you don't have it, then you can write here. So like example, I write, let's say salary. I'm writing salary. So salary is my class name, S capital salary. So salary, I'm writing here. That will be created under this package. So you will see that class will show up under this package. And just to finish, just say finish. Just say finish. So if you finish, you will see like this class name is there. Yes or no? The structure has public class is a class name first capital, and then begin and end curly bracket is there. This is the curly bracket. Make sense or no? Say yes. Good. And you can see now these package has this class. Make sense? Now do the same thing. Right click here. Right click on another package and say new Java class. Right click on another package, say new Java class. New Java class. So when you right click new Java class, what will happen? Write salary again. Salary again, S capital, salary. Salary. And finish. Salary again and finish. So this is the salary class, finish. This time same class exists in two different packages. Do you guys agree or not? Say yes or no. Any questions so far? Good. Now, before we jump into other thing, I'll go back to my code, my browser. Remember we had a code. I want to copy main method. Copy main method. Copy main method. Though I have MPG, you may have a salary, right? I will use MPG. You take salary, whatever the code you have. We are not taking these because this belongs to class. This belongs to class. This is the main method. Yes or no? Say yes.
Yes.
Copy this. You know how to first highlight like this and say Control C, Control C, Control C. And when you do Control C, you copy that and then go to first salary class. So double click here, double click here, double click here. So your first salary class. Okay. And inside the class, do Control V, Control V. So your program is ready. The program is ready. So far, so good. What did I do? I did not write it. I copied the class method we created. I copied that method. I went to salary class and I paste that method. So far, everyone is with me. Now save this thing. And when you save it, now right click anywhere on a white portion here. Right click anywhere on a white portion. You will see run file. Say yes or no. It's okay to say yes, right? And if you say run file, you can run your program and your program will run. And you will get the result here in NetBean. Your program will run and you will see result in NetBean. And if you are getting result, right now it's compiling and you're getting results. So you can see my result is here because my program ran successfully based on 2 and 200. Answer is there and I got 10. How many of you got the result? Couple of? Yes? Okay, good. What about you? It's going to take long time. First time, it will take a long time because you're using Maven here. I'll cover next week Maven, but I show you how to run the program. Yes or no? People on phone, are you guys able to run? It may take a while. It will run a little bit because Maven download a lot of software. Give me thumbs up if you are able to see the result.
I'm
It
getting
takes time.
error.
Sorry,
I'm getting error again.
what is the error?
Cannot run program CMD in directory, C drive, some for.
Okay, so what is the error? Could you paste the error in the chat room?
Yeah, I'll paste it.
And Kavita, where do you live?
I live in Trimble.
Is it possible for you to come in Shambhag one day? I want to just make sure I install it, your software, because you are having this issue last time also, right?
Yes.
If you can visit like Shambhag one time, I can solve this problem.
Yeah, next
Because-
week, next week I'll try to come in.
Yeah, because this will, one time we fix it, it solve all the problem because you are cannot run CMD. Even that bad. Okay. I know the solution of this, but it requires a little bit access to your computer. There is one file config file. We have to change some parameter. Right now the parameter is missing some reason. The parameter is called, this is known issue. We can easily fix this issue.
Okay.
Anyone?
Because this time I downloaded the same version that you have after your guide.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll fix it. If you visit next time, we'll fix.
Sure.
Come a little bit early. It may
Yeah.
take a 10-15 minutes.
Sure, I'll come in.
Yeah. Now I will copy this method again. Control C, copy this method again. I'm going to another salary class in another package, right? And I paste there. Control V. I save there. And if I right click and run, this will also run. Make sense? I can have different logic here. One can be salary, one can be MPG, and I can run that also. So what I'm trying to say, same program can exist in multiple packages and you can run it. Running NetBean, right click and just run it, right? And your output will be visible. All those magic is happening because of this palm.xml. Next week, I'll cover palm.xml. And this entire thing is the Maven setup. So that's why Maven is the build tool. Maven is the build tool, which you will be using every day. So next week, we're going to only use NetBean. Next week, we are not going to use web. And you do need a software, JDK and NetBean install. If you need help, come a little bit early. I come here around 7 o'clock here. So if you can come early, any of your problem, I can fix it. If you have programming questions, I can fix it also. Sounds good or not? Okay. Once I complete my recording part,